Hi friends, welcome to Talk That Trace, and on today's video I wanted to share a supernatural sign and wonder which translated into an angelic encounter that I experienced last month. And it's very profound and it completely blew me away. But before I dive into the full story, I need to give you the backstory first. So last month I was invited to go to a conference in Kittanning, Pennsylvania, headed up by a ministries called Latter Glory Ministries, in which Charlie Shamp was going to be ministering to a small group of people. I was very excited and I wanted to go, so I had planned out the trip, and I was going to leave from New York and head over to Kittanning. It was about a 7-hour drive, and my goal was to get there early afternoon on Friday so I can rest up and be prepared and ready to receive for the evening session. What was really incredible was as I was driving on the parkway, I saw a car that had a license plate and it said Angel 46 on it. And I said, how amazing is it that God is in a way sending his angels before me as I'm traveling to this conference where I wanted to receive whatever he had in store for me. And if any of you are new, you should know that God speaks to me a lot through numbers and license plates. I don't know why. I just love and have always tried to steward God's voice to the best of my ability. And if I see something that I believe he's trying to communicate with me, I will share it with others just to help them raise their expectations that God can speak to them in that manner as well if they're open to receive. Now, I have an older vehicle. It's about 18 years old and has been through many ups and downs with me. And on this particular trip, I thought everything was going to be okay until the last stretch of my trip. Now, I'm not a car guru. I know enough to get by, but in all honesty, it's not my ministry. So I was driving, and all of a sudden I was about 17 miles away from my destination, and my car started to shake violently. My wheel, just everything was shaking. And I was really nervous because I was pretty much in the middle of nowhere. I mean, there was no gas station nearby. There was no convenience store. It was just open road. So as I'm driving, car shaking, I just hear in my head, pull the car over. As I pulled the car over, I saw smoke start to billow from underneath my tires and underneath my hood. And I'm like, oh my gosh, is my car about to catch on fire right now? I had no idea. So I run into my car, I grab my backpack, which had my laptop in there, my violin, anything I thought was valuable, I threw out of the car. And I'm like shaking like a leaf. I'm so scared. I don't know what to do. So I just pray. I'm like, Lord, I need your help right now. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if my car is about to catch on fire, but I need your help. And I would say no more than 2 minutes later, I saw a black Chevy Tahoe zoom up the road, but then it did a U-turn and came back around and parked behind me. And these two middle-aged Caucasian men came out and they said, ma'am, are you okay? And again, I'm super shaken up because I thought my car was seconds away from catching on fire. I had no idea what was going on. But I let them know the situation, and they came over and they popped my hood. And when they did, it was like a mushroom cloud of smoke or steam just billowed from my engine into the sky. And I'm like, did I just fry my engine? I had no idea what was going on. The two men assessed the situation and they said that it looks like my engine was overheating because I had no coolant in the car. Now, what was very peculiar about this was a week prior to this trip, I went to get a tire changed. And when I did, I actually cleaned out my trunk in the process because I had a lot of stuff in there I just didn't need. The one thing I did not throw out was a half jug of coolant that was sitting in my car for who knows how long, but I had what they needed. So I gave them the coolant, and I also had a big jug of ice water, and they took the coolant and the ice and they're just going in and putting it in the radiator. And if you've ever seen a hot tea kettle that's ready to be poured out, that billowing steam, that's exactly what my car was doing. Just, it looked like a mini, like one of those onion volcanoes when you go get hibachi or something. So I'm just praying that whatever they're doing is what my car needs to get me to my destination, because there was no mechanic in sight to help me. So they do what they do, and they said that I should be okay for the rest of my trip. However, they mentioned if my car started to act up again, that I would need to go to the nearest gas station and get more ice to put in that little radiator cap and help cool the engine down. Now, these kind gentlemen offered to follow me up the road to just make sure that I would be okay, and I was so grateful for their kindness for stopping and helping me in a very desolate situation. So here's where the supernatural wonder / angelic encounter comes in, because I don't know about you, I'm a very practical person. 1 + 1 is 2, water is wet, the sky is blue, and grass is green. It takes something very profound to throw me for a loop. Now, as I was driving up the road, I saw their car veer off the road very suddenly. And I was very confused because I thought maybe I missed a turn, or I was supposed to follow them in some weird way. I don't know what I was supposed to do. So I just made a quick 3-point turn and zoomed back to where their car turned off. When I got to where their car was, it had completely vanished. When I say vanished, it was out of here. I don't know where it went, and the geography of where I was at that point was very flat. So if the car turned off on a side road, I would have seen it driving in the distance. It vanished. And I just sat back like, did I just experience an angelic encounter? Now I want to remind you of that license plate that I saw earlier in my trip, the Angel 46. I felt a stirring in my spirit to look up Psalm 46. And when I looked it up, I was blown away. Little did I know that Psalm 46 is titled God on Our Side. And what I'd love to do for you right now is read you Psalm 46 in the Passion Translation, because I love Passion Translation, and how profound this psalm was to my situation. So let me read it to you now. Psalm 46. God, you are such a safe and powerful place to find refuge. You are a proven help in time of trouble, more than enough and always available whenever I need you, so we will never fear. Even if every structure of support were to crumble away, we will not fear, even when the earth quakes and shakes, moving mountains and casting them into the sea. For the raging roar of the stormy winds and crashing waves cannot erode our faith in you. God has a constantly flowing river whose sparkling streams bring joy and delight to his people. His river flows right through the city of God Most High into his holy dwelling places. God is in the midst of his city, secure and never shaken. At daybreak, his help will be seen with the appearing of the dawn. When the nations are in uproar with their tottering kingdoms, God simply raises his voice and the earth begins to disintegrate before him. Here he comes, the commander. The mighty Lord of the angel armies is on our side. The God of Jacob fights for us. Everyone look, come and see the breathtaking wonders of our God, for he brings both ruin and revival. He's the one who makes conflicts end throughout the earth, breaking and burning every weapon of war. Surrender your anxiety. Be silent and stop your striving, and you will see that I am God. I am the God above all the nations, and I will be exalted throughout the whole earth. Here he stands, the commander. The mighty Lord of the angel armies is on our side. The God of Jacob fights for us. Wow, guys, I just marvel at how intimately God knows us and is here for us throughout all of our struggles, that he knew my car was going to have a meltdown, literally and figuratively. And in retrospect, he sent his angels in the form of these two middle-aged men that were so kind enough to stop and help a stranger, me, in the midst of the whole COVID stuff and the race tensions. Like they didn't care. They just wanted to help. And I was so grateful for that, because I don't know what I would have done. I really don't know what I would have done had they not stopped. And the fact that the car vanished after they, there's some things that God does in our lives that just can't be explained. God moves in some of the most mysterious yet profound ways. So, long story short, the reason why my car was smoking after I got to my destination, I was able to take it to a mechanic, was that I had a broken radiator cap. So, rule of thumb, make sure you don't have a broken radiator cap, and always keep coolant in your car, because you never know when you might need it. And number 3, God is on your side. He is so for you. He loves you with all of his heart, and he just wants what's best for you. So I pray that this testimony encouraged you, and I will catch you in the next video. Bye.